Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're ditching the desks, we're ditching the daily grind, and we're hopping on a plane to the land of pharaohs and pyramids, ancient wonders and scorching deserts. We're going to Egypt. Now if you've been keeping up with the channel, you know I'm all about experiences. I'm talking about the kind of travel that punches you in the gut, leaves you breathless, and makes you question everything you thought you knew about the world. And trust me, Egypt delivers that in spades. We're talking about the kind of places that make you feel like you're stepping back in time, like you're Indiana Jones on the hunt for lost treasure. From the towering pyramids of Giza to the bustling souks of Islamic Cairo, Egypt is a sensory overload in the best possible way. So buckle up, grab your sunscreen, and get ready for an adventure because we're diving headfirst into the top tourist spots you absolutely cannot miss. Let's go! Alright, let's kick things off with the big one, the granddaddy of them all, the reason everyone pictures Egypt in the first place, the pyramids of Giza. I'm talking massive, awe-inspiring structures that have stood the test of time, surviving millennia of desert winds and scorching sun. Just try to wrap your head around the fact that these bad boys were built over 4,500 years ago. 4,500 years. That's older than ancient Rome, older than the Roman Empire, older than Julius Caesar himself. And listen, I don't care how many pictures you've seen, how many documentaries you've watched, nothing, and I mean compares to standing in the shadow of these giants. The sheer scale of these structures is just mind-blowing. You feel this energy, this presence, like you're in the presence of something truly ancient and powerful. It's humbling, it's awe-inspiring, it's a total sensory overload. Now when you're there, you gotta do the whole shebang. You gotta crawl through the claustrophobia-inducing passageways inside the Great Pyramid, feel the weight of history pressing down on you. You gotta snap that iconic photo with the Sphinx, that enigmatic creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human, forever guarding the Giza Plateau. And for all my photography buffs out there, trust me, sunrise or sunset is the time to go. The way the light hits the pyramids, casting long shadows across the sand, it's pure magic. It's like something out of an Indiana Jones movie, I'm not even kidding. But here's the thing about the pyramids of Giza. It's not just about the history, it's about the stories these stones could tell. Imagine the pharaohs, the workers, the lives lived and lost in the shadow of these monuments. It's a place that makes you think about time, about legacy, about the enduring power of human ingenuity. And just when you think you've taken it all in, you see them, a local kid, maybe 10 years old, selling miniature pyramids to tourists. And you realize this is their backyard, this ancient wonder, this testament to human history. It's just another day at the office. It's a stark reminder that travel is as much about understanding the present as it is about exploring the past. So take your time, wander around, soak it all in, talk to the locals, hear their stories, their perspectives, because that's where the real magic happens, in those unexpected moments, those human connections that transcend time and language. Next stop on our Egyptian adventure takes us south to Luxor, the ancient city of Thebes, a place so steeped in history it's practically bursting at the seams with ancient temples, tombs, and treasures. If the pyramids of Giza are a testament to the power of the pharaohs, then Luxor is a window into their souls. First up, we're hitting up Karnak Temple, a sprawling complex of temples, chapels, pylons, and statues that will make your jaw hit the floor. We're talking about a site that was built and expanded upon by generations of pharaohs, each one trying to outdo the last. It's like walking through a history book, except the pages are carved in stone and painted in vibrant colors. You'll wander through towering columns, each one intricately carved with hieroglyphics and depictions of gods and goddesses. You'll stand in the shadow of massive obelisks, towering monuments that pierce the sky like needles, and you'll marvel at the sheer scale and grandeur of it all. But Luxor isn't just about grand temples and imposing statues. Just across the Nile River lies the Valley of the Kings, a desolate yet breathtaking necropolis where pharaohs, queens, and nobles were laid to rest in elaborate tombs carved directly into the rock face. Imagine descending into the cool darkness of a tomb, the air thick with the scent of incense and the weight of centuries. You'll wander through dimly lit corridors, your flashlight illuminating walls adorned with vibrant paintings and hieroglyphics, stories of the afterlife, tales of gods and monsters. And then, you'll come face to face with a sarcophagus, the final resting place of a pharaoh. The silence is deafening, the air electric with the weight of history. It's a moment you won't soon forget, but here's a pro tip: Luxor gets hot, like scorching desert hot. so go early in the morning or later in the afternoon to avoid the midday sun. Trust me, you'll thank me later. And don't forget to bring plenty of water, sunscreen, and a hat. And while you're in Luxor, do yourself a favor and take a hot air balloon ride over the Valley of the Kings at sunrise. It's an experience like no other, floating silently over this ancient landscape, the sun casting long shadows over the temples and tombs below. It's pure magic. Alright, we're switching gears now, trading the ancient temples and tombs for the bustling streets and vibrant energy of Islamic Cairo. This is where the heart of old Cairo beats loudest, a labyrinthine maze of narrow alleyways, bustling souks, and stunning mosques that will transport you to another world. First things first, lose yourself in the Khan El Khalili Bazaar, a sensory overload in the best possible way. We're talking about a labyrinth of narrow alleyways overflowing with spices, perfumes, textiles, and treasures. It's a riot of colors, sounds, and smells, a place where you can haggle for souvenirs, sip mint tea with locals, and experience the true heart of Cairo. And while you're navigating the labyrinth, keep an eye out for the hidden gems, the workshops where artisans still practice traditional crafts passed down through generations. You might find a coppersmith hammering intricate designs into metal, a glassblower shaping molten glass into delicate works of art, or a calligrapher painstakingly copying ancient texts. But Islamic Cairo isn't just about the souks and the shopping. It's home to some of the most stunning examples of Islamic architecture in the world. We're talking about mosques like the Mosque of Muhammad Ali, perched high atop the citadel, offering panoramic views of the city. Step inside, and you'll be greeted by a sea of tranquility. Sunlight streams through stained glass windows, illuminating the intricate carpets and ornate chandeliers. It's a place of peace and reflection, a stark contrast to the bustling streets outside. And speaking of peace and reflection, don't miss the Al-Azhar Mosque, one of the oldest universities in the world and a center of Islamic learning for centuries. Wander through the tranquil courtyard, admire the intricate minarets, and soak up the atmosphere of this historic institution. Now here's a pro tip: dress modestly when visiting mosques. Cover your shoulders and knees, and women, be prepared to cover your hair. It's a sign of respect for the local culture and customs. And don't be afraid to get lost in the maze of alleyways. Some of the best discoveries happen when you least expect them. Duck into a local cafe, sip some strong coffee, and watch the world go by. You might be surprised at the conversations you overhear, the stories you uncover. Alright, adventure seekers, get ready because we're heading south, deep into the heart of ancient Nubia, to the land of Aswan and Abu Simbel. This is where the Nile River flows wide and majestic, where ancient temples rise from the desert sands, and where the echoes of a lost civilization still whisper on the wind. First up, Aswan, a city perched on the banks of the Nile, a place where time seems to move a little slower. Now Aswan is more than just a pretty face. It's the gateway to some of Egypt's most impressive ancient sites. We're talking about the Philae Temple, a complex of temples dedicated to the goddess Isis, rescued from the rising waters of the Nile and relocated to its current island home. Imagine sailing across the Nile, the sun beating down on your face, as the Philae Temple slowly comes into view, its towering pylons reflected in the shimmering water. It's a sight that will stay with you long after you've left Egypt. But Aswan is also a place to experience modern Nubian culture. Take a felucca ride down the Nile, the lateen sail billowing in the wind as you glide past emerald green islands and traditional Nubian villages. And speaking of Nubian villages, make sure to visit one. These villages are a riot of color, the houses painted in bright blues, yellows, and greens. You'll be greeted with warm smiles and offers of strong, sweet tea. It's a chance to experience a different side of Egypt, one that's far removed from the hustle and bustle of the big cities. Next stop, Abu Simbel, a UNESCO World Heritage Site located deep in the south of Egypt near the border with Sudan. This is where you'll find the two massive rock temples of Ramses II, carved directly into the face of a sandstone cliff. Picture this: you're standing in the desert, the sun beating down, and before you rise 4 colossal statues of Ramses II, each one 66 feet tall, their faces weathered by centuries of desert winds. It's a sight that will send chills down your spine. And the inside of the temples are just as impressive, with towering statues, intricate reliefs, and vibrant paintings depicting scenes from Ramses II's reign. It's a testament to the power and ambition of this legendary pharaoh. Now here's a pro tip: Abu Simbel is remote. Like, really remote. The best way to get there is to fly from Aswan, but trust me, it's worth the journey. Alright, we've explored ancient temples, wandered through bustling souks and sailed down the Nile. Now it's time to venture off the beaten path to experience the surreal beauty of the White Desert. Trust me, this is where things get really interesting. Imagine a landscape unlike anything you've ever seen before. A vast expanse of blindingly white chalk rock formations sculpted by wind and sand into otherworldly shapes. It's like stepping onto another planet. A dreamscape of towering mushrooms, whimsical creatures and abstract sculptures that seem to shift and change with the light. The White Desert is a place to get lost, to wander aimlessly, to let your imagination run wild. Climb atop a chalk formation and watch the sunset paint the desert sky in a kaleidoscope of colors, from fiery oranges and reds to soft pinks and purples. It's a photographer's paradise, a place where every angle offers a new and unique perspective. Now here's the thing about the White Desert, it's best experienced on an overnight camping trip. There's something truly magical about sleeping under a blanket of stars, the silence broken only by the gentle whisper of the wind. Imagine this, you're huddled around a campfire, the flames casting flickering shadows on the surrounding rock formations. The air is cool and crisp, the stars are out in full force, and you're sharing stories and laughter with your fellow travelers. It's a moment of pure connection, a reminder that sometimes the most memorable experiences are the ones that take us outside of our comfort zones. Now, a word of warning. The White Desert is a protected area, so be respectful of the environment. Pack out everything you pack in, stay on designated trails, and avoid disturbing the delicate ecosystem. And here's a pro tip. Bring a scarf or bandana to cover your face, especially if it's windy. The chalk dust can be pretty intense. The White Desert is more than just a destination, it's a state of mind. It's a place to disconnect from the noise of everyday life and reconnect with nature, with yourself, with the simple pleasures of being present in the moment. So there you have it, my friends. A whirlwind tour of some of the most incredible tourist spots Egypt has to offer. From the ancient wonders of the pyramids of Giza to the surreal landscapes of the White Desert, Egypt is a country that will stay with you long after you've left. If you're looking for an adventure, a journey that will challenge and inspire you, look no further than Egypt. This is a country that has it all: history, culture, adventure, and natural beauty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more travel tips and adventures. See you in the next video.